We see so many games released every day that it's impossible to check out every single one, so that's why I'm here. I'm that indie games guy, and we'll be taking a look over some hidden gems that you might have missed last month. These might be games that are fantastic, but not many people have spotted them, like this channel, so I say we deep dive into 12 hidden gems that we might have missed. Let me know in the comments below if you've played any of these games, and let the show begin. Starting off the list, we have Make Way, a top-down party racing game that's all about having some fun and beating your friends in online races. The game has taken the concept of Ultimate Chicken Horse, where you build a map as you go, and you need to think about what pieces you're going to use on the map. Do you try to build a normal racetrack where you're just going to see who's the fastest? Or do you add traps and try and knock, smash and destroy your way to the top? Add new track pieces after each round to create a crazy large course and score bonus points with your performance to try and take home the trophy. If the map looks too easy, why not start to remove and alter the course to be more epic and impressive? I believe these types of party games are amazing for a local co-op environment where everyone can have a laugh and enjoy from the sofa. We need more games like these days, with everything being moved to online, so I'm really happy to see that Make Way does have an online and also a co-op option from Split Screen. Up next we have Blood West, an immersive stealth FPS game. You'll play as an undead gunslinger that's been cursed to roam the dusted desert paths until you purge the curse that has been put upon you. The maps are all open-ended worlds, so don't think this is some linear story. It's taken the likes of Dishonored, where you can freely move around the map and try to complete the quest whatever way you want. The maps are pretty big as well. It's been stated that the game will take around 20 hours to complete the 3 areas available, which is mighty impressive if you ask me. Now that 20 hours is only if you are doing the game from start to finish without looking around. It'll probably take you around 35 plus hours if you want to try and find all the secrets in the game. You'll meet many colourful yet strangely twisted, fully voiced NPCs, just as much prisoners of the barren lands as you are. They will sometimes share their unusual stories and send you on various missions. The way you interact with the NPCs will determine if they help you, or maybe stab you in the back if you don't play nice. The mix of a western and eldritch horror seem like a match made in hell. The horrors that you see in front of you will normally have you running for your life, but seeing as you're an undead gunslinger, maybe they'll be running from you this time. It's time to hit the slopes and shred some snow in Sledders, a realistic physics-based snowmobile simulator in backcountries full of deep snow. You'll be getting some serious speed on these bad boys, so please make sure to avoid the trees where possible. The game offers a massive map for you to explore and play around in. It contains steep hills, mountains, lots of trees, and open areas ready to be ridden by you. There'll be plenty of big jumps for you to find and aim to get the perfect backflip and land on that fresh snow. Even though you'll be travelling around on a high-speed octane machine, it'll still take you a while to get from one side of the map to the other, so you'll always have somewhere new to explore. The snow in Sledders feels as real as possible, so you better sharpen up on your powder skills or you'll just be digging deeper and deeper into the snow. Free riding in backcountries means a lot of snow to plough, and riding in it is way different than any other terrain. You must master the steering by shifting your weight around, making turns with your throttle, counter steering with your skis, and many other new skills. This seems to be a super chill game, with no objectives really and things like that. Just enjoy the ride, and if you want to go with friends, fantastic, as the game is multiplayer, for you to enjoy the mountains together and see what as a group you can find and possibly explore. While the Iron's Hot is the latest game published by Humble Games. It's a crafting adventure RPG as you look towards reforging the blacksmith's village and pushing towards a new age. Step into the boots of a journeyman blacksmith on a quest to become a master smith. You'll need to forge, smelt, and combine works of metal to grow your smithing skills, and discover exquisite new items to create. Explore an island filled with resources, treasures, puzzles, and fellow artisans with their own motives and designs. This isn't a typical pick what you want to build and add the items and it's done. You'll need to do a lot more than that. You'll need to follow step-by-step instructions, from starting with just ore that has come straight out of a rock, smelting it down, and then reshaping it into an ingot, and so on. Nothing will come easy in this adventure, and the only way to become a true blacksmith is by learning. I love games where you need to rebuild or help a village get to a former glory. It gives me a really good feeling when you're able to complete the final objective and see the difference from what you started with all the way until that final goal. Gives you that sense of accomplishment. Up next we have Duels of Sundaria, a dungeon crawler hack and slash RPG, which can be played solo or co-op. You'll need to venture through multiple different dungeons, whilst grabbing better gear and loot each run that you complete. The game currently features 8 dungeons, which are all filled to brim with hundreds and hundreds of mobs waiting for you to enter, and multiple bosses that will make your knees weak. Each dungeon can be completed on normal, hard, or nightmare, so make sure that you're prepared for the more difficult fights. Create your fantasy warrior from a range of different classes and races, so hopefully you'll be able to make a character you always want to play in these types of games. Or maybe you decide to mix it up a little and try something completely new. I know for a fact I'll be playing as my normal D&D character. Their name is Snezzy, they're a goblin cleric, so they'll keep you alive as long as you pay the fee, of course. The game can be played online with friends or split screen co-op, which shocked me a little, as really you don't see these types of RPGs being split screen. If you have friends who might not be too sure about the game, invite them round and let them try before they buy. Ever wanted to build your own Hogwarts? Well, this isn't quite that level of grand building, but it's the same ballpark with Mind Over Magic, a magic school building game where you'll design, build, and manage your own magic school to explore what lies beneath the soil. Study lost arcana, grow exotic plants, brew potions, and raise undead servants to help you. You'll be able to build the school block by block, brick by brick, as each room and items are chosen by you. You'll get to design every room as you see fit. The game has lots of decorations, so it doesn't need to be your typical magic school. You can make it as goofy as possible, where you just have really weird stuff in each room, or as dark and creepy, so it kind of is a different kind of magic that you're looking to go with. The actual school aspect reminds me a lot of 2 Point Campus. Students learn magic every day, on a schedule you choose and teachers you assign to the class. Learn and harness powerful abilities from a range of magical disciplines to unlock your students' true potential. These students can be used to unlock the secrets of the ground and hopefully show you the way to true power. Let's turn our attention to a stunning online shooter, United 1944, an innovative World War II shooter combining weapon crafting, base building, and team strategy. You'll need to fight in 16 vs 16 team battles in either Domination or Survivor, the 2 game modes available in the game right now. The maps will have crafting resources readily available for you to be able to go grab and build defences to stop the enemy rushing towards your base. Build defensive walls, plant mines at different points, or set up outposts further up the map to try and gain an advantage on the push your squad is making. The feel of the game really gives me old school Battlefield, with the combat meets Hell Let Loose for the team based gameplay that you'll need to develop as the game goes on. Choose from 40 different skills to play your part. A sniper from the rooftops? Maybe you think yourself more a frontline medic, or a demolition expert ready to blow any tanks up. Switch up your roles and weapon loadouts mid-battle. It means you'll never have to play the game one way. Play it exactly how you want. I love the fact that you don't need to lock in a role at the start of the game, and you can just enjoy the action and adapt on the fly. The game has been released in early access, and updates have already been rolled out over the past week. Modern online games seem to love things like battle passes and cosmetics that you can buy with real money, which I just think is a really annoying trend that we have at the moment. Why do we have to put more money into the game to get some cooler outfits? But this is where United 1944 is a little different. You unlock all the skins through the game, completing weekly challenges. No extra money needed, and I feel more games need to offer this as it'll make people play the game for longer instead of just putting it down. We go from war on the front lines all the way to war against alcohol. Booze Masters Freezing Moonshine is a unsettling first-person adventure game with elements of plant cultivation, puzzles, and lots of high-proof beverages. Under the guidance of a brilliant moonshiner, you'll learn how to craft alcoholic beverages that would dazzle even the wildest connoisseurs, including the world's coldest vodka. Throughout the adventure on the hill, you'll plant dozens and dozens of fantastical crops, gather tons of plants, and produce litres of substances that will help you conquer the cold while you're out here. The game features rather dark humour, so it might not be bone-hurting laughing kind of fun, but you should expect a few chuckles here and there with the game trying to make light of some of the darker tones that you might come across. Game length currently is around 4 to 6 hours, depending on how much you want to do. If you end up getting stuck on any of the challenges, the game might be a little bit longer, but I'd say of a game of this type, that is the perfect length to be able to go through the game and say you enjoyed it and that it didn't drag out at the end. Up next, we have Duels of Fortune, a fast-paced 2.5D fighting game with an expressive combo system and a diverse character roster. And yeah, I would say playing as superhumans, skeletons, aliens, and even a doodled stick figure is pretty diverse. The game features a single player mode, along with PvP fights that you can take on friends. Single player content puts you in different challenges that puts beating up a car in Street Fighter to shame, as you'll need to beat giants up and maybe even the odd inanimate object. Multiple fighters to choose from, with currently 15 released with way more on the way. The game is currently in early access, and they have stated that they want over 30 fighters by the time the game is fully released. Now currently it doesn't have a full release date, they're saying somewhere around 2025, but the developers are not working on the game full time. This is their first ever game that they've made, and I guess you would class this more of a passion project. I really do hope the game can become popular for them, as it just seems like an incredible little gem. Best of all, the game is completely free. It is a free-to-play game, so anyone can enjoy this fighter. You can't really say no to a free game now, can you? The Gnorp Apologue is an idle strategy clicker game that might have you thinking, no thank you, when you hear the word idle, but think of it like this. Imagine helping these tiny Gnorps become so rich, and it's all thanks to you, the overlord who helped and allowed them to become better people. Gnorps represent the heart of the game. They are responsible for both shard generation and collection. Gnorps adapt varying methodologies to reach their goals. Some will slam the rock with their heads, others shoot it with arrows and guns. You have some that will even grow flowers, and some that uses psychic powers. They even build rockets and drones, all for one purpose, to accumulate more and more shards. The game is all about seeing big number get bigger. You don't really have an objective other than that, but this is what will get you sucked in. It'll become a game where you don't want to quit and put it down, as you know that in one more upgrade's time, that might be the difference between hitting the rock and having the biggest shard total yet. I don't know what it is about idle clicker games, but sometimes you can just stay there for hours and just watch as you get more money, you upgrade something, and the money gets even more and more. It's a weird feeling, but it's often really satisfying. It's hard to actually find a single negative review or comment about this game, and that's pretty difficult in this day and age. The Gnorp Apologue is just a fun game that will have you thinking about other strategies even when you do step away from the game for a little while. Following on, we have River Tales, Stronger Together, a co-op adventure platformer designed around a full co-op system. Teammates must work together to defeat end-of-level bosses, solve puzzles across a range of natural world environments, but the main thing here is that you'll need communication, coordination, and complete trust, and that can be quite hard to find in a co-op partner sometimes. River Tales really takes us back to couch co-op games. The game is designed to be played on the same screen, and for me, they're the best kind of co-op games. Play either as Frumple, the curious and excitable purple kitten, or Finn, the independent fish with a bit of an attitude problem, as you travel the lands to look for Furple's family that are currently in mortal danger. I will add here that the game can be played in solo, so don't feel like you can't play it if you don't have a co-op partner. The game has something that they've named a lone wolf mode, where you can play as both characters from the same controller. Think like Brothers. It's very much you control one with the left analog stick and the other with the right analog stick. They have also said that the game needs to be played with a controller. The game is really giving me strong Crash Bandicoot vibes. It goes from that side-scrolling style that we see where you go through some levels, to more of an open world where you're just running forward to try and get to the goal. And when you see the boss fights, you'll completely understand what I mean. They seem like they're a lot of fun, you'll need to learn how the bosses move, and it's one of those where once you understand how the boss works, you'll be able to nail it down. And sadly, the final game on the list. The last game of the hidden gems in December is One-Armed Robber, a chaotic first-person heist game that centers around a uniquely challenging premise. Players take the role of a determined robber, equipped with only one arm, tasked with pulling off daring heists on banks, shops, and various establishments. Each heist in the game can be played multiple ways and suit whatever playstyle you want in the heist. You can go all sneaky deaky like, and go through the shadows, silently taking out anyone Hitman style, or you can load up that heavy assault rifle, walk through the front door, and just do whatever you think is best for you. Both ways equally fun, both completely different. As you become a more experienced robber, new tools will be unlocked for you, which will make it easier for you to complete the heists in general. Each tool has a special purpose, and unique tools make it possible to complete heists in new ways that you could never do before. The developer released a game called One Arm Cook, and that received multiple updates and DLC, so I'm really hoping this game does that too, as playing in a group would be complete chaos, and I love that. And that there, sadly, is the end of our list, and I hope you've spotted a hidden gem that you'll want to play for yourself. Thank you so much for staying around until the end. It really does mean so much to me that you're here, and all I can say is thank you. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye!